Welcome to episode 41 of Box News. This is for the game TNA Impact. Why am I staring, or why are you staring, at a garbage can? Well, that's where the game belongs, is in the garbage. TNA Impact was such a horrible gaming experience that I almost vomited every time I turned it on. Thank goodness I rented and did not buy this game. It is not worth even a penny. The story of this game is awful. You play as a character who gets beat up and hospitalized, and then you get to kind of create your own look, but then hide it under a mask for the majority of the game until you unveil yourself as being who you truly are, that was jumped, and you made your return to gain revenge on who jumped you. One of the worst storylines for a male soap opera, aka pro wrestling, that I've ever seen. The game gives you 4 to 8 moves, most of them suplexes and DDTs, that allow you to beat up on your opponent, or you can make them tap with the 2 to 3 submissions that they give you. There's also 1 to 2 finishers that are kind of bland. The entrances are very lame, much like the show. Nothing is just spectacular whatsoever. The online is choppy. Just everything about the game is just bad. The moveset, like I said, the visuals are the one and only good thing about the game. The characters actually look like who they represent. It's just sad that they chose to make a game, especially a wrestling game, of such a horrible company and just horrible design. Hopefully they learn from their mistakes in their next one that they're actually developing right now, but I'm not sure why a company would actually work on such a horrible product. It's just a bad game. So for those of you out there, do not pick up TNA Impact. It is a horrible game. If you want a really good wrestling game, pick up any other one. Even Legends of WrestleMania was better than TNA Impact. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Box News, and this was just more of advice not to buy the game than it was a review on it. No, I'm not being biased here. I know there are people out there who play this game and share the same experience with me. So, after that being said, thank you for watching yet another episode of Box News. Avoid TNA Impact at all costs, and the show too. Both are very similar in unquality, if that's even a word, of products. Thank you again.
And now, it is time for the Royal Rumble match. Now in this match, the two superstars that drew number 1 and number 2 will start. Other superstars will join in the order that they drew. This will continue until all 30 superstars have entered the ring. Now the only way to be eliminated is to be thrown over the top rope, with both feet landing on the floor. The last man in the ring will be declared the winner of the Royal Rumble and will advance to the main event of WrestleMania. Introducing first, from Grand Rapids, Michigan, the Metro
Welcome to episode 42 of Box News. Here you see WWE at its finest. This is the SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 version of the game. We've seen its debut on the PlayStation 2 in 2005. So this is the 6th installment of the SmackDown vs. Raw series. Why should you keep buying this game every year? Well, because it keeps making minor improvements. The first one, we saw very simple exhibition modes and a simple career mode. After that, we saw new create a belts, create a pay-per-view modes, we saw new weapon types, we saw new match types. Then later on in 2007, we saw a general manager mode. 2006, we saw a general manager mode on the PlayStation 2. 2007, we saw it jump to the Xbox. We saw an enhanced version of the general manager mode. In 2008, we saw the debut of ECW in it. In 2009, we saw the debut of Road to WrestleMania mode, and also the focus and emphasis on tag teams. And in 2009, here you see, or it's 2010 now, here you see a new Royal Rumble mode, which is very difficult to get someone out. In 2010, we also see create your own show mode, basically. You create the cutscenes, you create the dialogue. Unfortunately, it doesn't have voicing, it has text dialogue. But we may see a very complex create a story mode in 2011, which is coming out in a couple months. No features have been announced in that game as of yet. But obviously, in each new year, you're going to get an updated roster, much like the Madden game series. The replayability of this game, if you like fighting games, you like wrestling, this is definitely a game to pick up. Each game gets more complex with the movesets. The creatability of each character that you can make is definitely fun each year. As you see here, this is the Royal Rumble match, always one of the best ones. As you can see here, let's try to whip someone out. I'll show you the mini game. In this mode, there's a mini game. Let's see, the button pressing. Now you have the double team. Oh, both of us just got eliminated. So that's not good at all. See, it's much harder to win the Royal Rumble in this one compared to the other ones. The other one was just a button mashing contest and wear down their stamina. This one's actually a guessing game on which buttons to press. It's like a prompt. And then you get lucky. As you can see there, I was eliminated by the one and only Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is a great Hall of Famer. Some of the other features in this game, obviously you get a more in-depth roster, ECW in the game again this year, which is actually no longer. So I'm assuming what we'll see in 2011 is NXT. As you can see there, Randy Orton eliminated Stone Cold. So now he stands and waits for his next opponent slowly to make his way down to the ring. Which is a feature I don't like. They still take forever to get down to the ring. They still have blood in the game when you get busted open, much unlike the show. In the show you get, they can't show blood anymore, which is horrible. The reason I buy this game every year is because I like wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, if you like the WWE, definitely pick up the game each year. If you wait a few months after it's released, they do drop very quickly, as these aren't the best-selling games. Features I missed in this year's, they got rid of General Manager mode, which allows you to run your own show and basically pick, what happens, pick the heroes, pick the villains, the faces, the heels, whatever you want to call them. And then you get ratings. You compete against the other show to win ratings. You are the general manager, so obviously you want to do well and win. The commentary in each game is always lacking. It's not the greatest. They basically have the same loops. If you continue to have the same people in your matches or do the same moves, they have the same loops for what's going on. Road to WrestleMania mode starts at just before the Royal Rumble and goes to WrestleMania, obviously during the time frame of Road to WrestleMania. and it just covers, there's 6 new ones this year, and that's it. Once you play through them, you can play through them a second time to unlock the variables. There's a couple of different, it's like a tree almost. You unlock different wrestlers, different move sets, so there's the benefit of playing through that again. For creating your own story, that's really fun. You can basically create whatever you want and upload it to Xbox Live. Other people can download your show, you can download their shows. Unfortunately, there's only 12 save slots, so you can only save up to 12 shows, which is kind of a bummer when you have a 120 gig hard drive or whichever version you have. There's definitely space for more. So that is a downside of it. But those are definitely the highlighted features of 2010. Like I said, you can pick up any of the old ones. Since 2007, they've been on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. So you can pick up any of the old ones for less than $5. 2009 is probably around 10. 2010 is probably around $20 now. So like I said, they drop really quickly in price. But this year's version is definitely worth the pickup for the creative story mode. The exhibition modes, there's so many different match types this year, they keep adding more in every year. Things I'd change: make smoother moves. Everything still seems slightly choppy. They haven't got it as fluid as UFC with the fighting style. Obviously wrestling is fake, and it does look very fake, a lot of stuff, but I'd like to incorporate some realism into the games since they can't do it in TV. Also, if they could add a more in-depth story for your creative character to kind of go through more of a season and more of a season feel with the broadcast feel of the show, having the ups and downs. I know they can handle it, so, you know, come on THQ, give me the game I've been wanting. But not a disappointment overall, fantastic game, it'll keep you hooked for a while. And once you get bored with it, by the time you get bored with it, they put out the next year's one. Expect a new SmackDown vs. Raw game every October or November of every year until they retire the series. I don't see it slowing down anytime soon, as I don't see the WWE slowing down anytime soon. So definitely tune in Monday nights on USA to watch Raw, and then pick up the game, learn the characters, love the show. It is the #1 wrestling game out there and the #1 wrestling show, and that will never change. I want to thank you again for watching this episode of Box News. This was the Royal Rumble match. This was the SmackDown vs. Raw series, which debuted in 2005 and is still going strong. So definitely rent this game, or even buy it, or just wait for 2011, buy that one, because I guarantee it's not going to be a letdown. So once again, thank you for watching Box News. Some more episodes to come in the near future. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope it was informative. Once again, thank you, and have a great day.
And the collaboration works. There's his third elimination.
Welcome to episode 43, Box News, here with pro gamer Andrea Lana to show us how to rock out with Brutal Legend, made by Double Fine. There we see some gameplay. Now right off the bat, I'm like, okay, Jack Black, rock and roll, you get an axe, and you get to kill people. Well, demons really, not so much people. I'm like, okay, that's going to be fun. What were your first impressions on it, like right off the bat? Is this what you expected out of the game from previews?
No, I thought I would hate it.
You thought you would hate it? Why?
Yeah. Well, for one thing, I absolutely hate metal music. I know that...
So you probably didn't enjoy the soundtrack?
No, which was fine, but the gameplay is fun. It's ridiculously fun. It's like... It's just stupid fun. I don't know how else to describe it.
Now, I absolutely love metal music, and if you're a fan of metal, classic metal, you're going to love the soundtrack of the game. Every song in there is just so much fun. But if you don't like metal, like you said, it's like, eh. So obviously everything's themed around classic metal, not this new metal. New metal being like Disturbed and artists similar to that. We're looking at Sabbath, we're looking at Dio, you know, the good metal. Not to say new metal is not bad.
That's like an oxymoron.
Well, to you. But I'm not here to review metal music, so we're here to review Brutal Legend. Give us some details on the story. What's the main story here?
You're a roadie for a band. Something happens with the set, and you get crushed. And when you wake up, you're in this world of metal. And you have an axe and your guitar that you use to kill these people. And then you meet up with some other people that live in this world that are trying to defeat this evil person. And then you go on the road with them. And you go through the different kinds. Like there's different kinds of music. Like at one point you fight emo and goth people, and the first really bad boss that you fight is like an 80s hair band rocker with all pink, and it's just like you get different people that help you defeat these guys, and it's super fun. I don't know. I just like the game.
Now, I was really intrigued. Like, this game, I was so excited for it to finally come out. Obviously, now, reviewing it, it's been out for quite some time. But my first few hours of the game, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Then I got to a point where the game turned into an RTS. And what that is a real-time strategy game. You basically start with, like, a home headquarters and start spawning troops to, fight the enemy, people who are trying to spawn troops at themselves, and it just got really weird. Like, I'm like, this is not what I expected. Like, the game plays just like Fable, if you've ever played Fable. It plays just like that. You got your two different weapons that you use, one similar to a gun, one similar, obviously, to the sword, axe. And, I don't know, it just, that right there just took me away from the game.
Nice try, lady.
I loved it. I just don't know why you liked it, because I don't even like real-time strategies, and I just found this game to be so fun.
Knew it. Big ugly demon.
You see there, it's got a lot of humor and comedy. You know, those go hand in hand usually. By Jack Black, which the character obviously is loosely based on his appearances. Now you see here the first boss of the game that you fight. You're using your powers that you just unlocked. Obviously, this is the very beginning of the game. You're learning how to use the axe and then your guitar, which shoots lightning. Now throughout the game, you can upgrade your weapons to become stronger and better.
Yeah, you can choose different kinds of... You actually find like these shrines to the rock gods or whatever that will help you use different... like different attacks with your guitar. Like you use your guitar too to raise relics, and the relics help you fight, and then throughout the world you can use your guitar to raise different attacks. There's a garage you go in where Ozzy Osbourne lets you like pimp out your car. Just all kinds of stuff.
So there you go, Ozzy fans.
Okay.
He is in this game.
Alright. Well.
So is Dio. Doesn't Dio have a voice over in this game?
I believe so, yeah.
Let's see here.
Rest in peace, Dio.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's right.
Yeah.
Near evil. Messed up. Demon.
You do get a car. I forgot what he called it.
Unimaginable.
There's a name for the car.
Transport me off
No,
this
that's the
awesome
guitar.
corpse
That's the guitar.
pile. I am but a visitor.
You can upgrade that to have like mounted guns and different things on it. There are car like missions. There's so many mini missions in this game. The main quest is very short,
Yeah, it is pretty short.
but there's so much to do after you finish the main story. I don't even know how many hundreds of side quests littered throughout the lands.
Really cool.
So I mean, there's replay value in that. Also, the RTS mode where you go and attack the other people's bases. That is the Xbox Live gameplay of it. the theme, like I said, the theme of the game is good. It just hit that point where the end games, like the main boss fights, became RTS fights, and it was just not. I like RTS, but when they throw that in there, it was just. It caught me off guard, and it made me just kind of turned off by the game. Like, I wasn't completely sold at that point, but I did finish it, did enjoy it.
I've never touched an axe before.
This is one of those games too where there's tons of crap to find in it.
Yeah.
A lot, and I know that you hate that.
Yeah, if you're into collecting things and doing little stupid quests, stuff like Grand Theft Auto and killing 200 pigeons. I mean, you're gonna have a fun time, but I hate those stupid things. It's just so
you're
annoying.
definitely not a completionist.
No. And there's actually, not in this game, but there's other games where they actually have achievements called completionists.
It's kind of hard to say.
So I do love open world games, which this is, I guess, kind of an open world. It's not linear.
Well, it kind of is. Like, you can only go so far.
Well, I mean, the map does end. Every sandbox game does have boundaries. Basically, almost every sandbox game is an island. I mean, this one is, too. But you do unlock new areas as you progress through the game. New enemies come about, different ways to defeat them. You do gain allies throughout the game. There's a group of people you begin working for. Obviously, here, this chick becomes a love interest to you. I'm not going to spoil any of the story. So there are ups and downs with your love interest, as any good story would have. So it's not horrible storytelling. It's not the best, but with Jack Black, if he wasn't in it, I don't think it would have done as well. I think he was one of the major selling points for this game. And here you see you're allowing new, they're allowing you to have new attacks, combos, whatnot. But I would definitely recommend renting this game. It's under 20 bucks now, so I mean, if you don't have 20 bucks lying around to purchase it, you know, just rent it. You know, renting games now is almost $10.
Well, it's so short. I wouldn't buy this game. It's so fun to play, but it is so short.
What would you give it then?
I'd probably give it like a B.
Follow me.
I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I really liked it, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not the best game I've ever played, and
Take a look
it,
outside.
the replayability, like the replay value or whatever, is not 100%.
Yeah, that's a lot of dudes.
Okay. Well, if you want to see what happens next, I definitely recommend you renting this game and checking out Brutal Legend. And I want to thank you again for watching Box News.
Is it a minecart?
I call it the Druid Plow. Let me show you how it works. What you do, you slam it into goo, hoo, hoo, hello. Looks like it's working already.
You've awakened the spirit of the beast himself.
I hope so. What's up with Crazy Legs?
They called in reinforcements. Why such a large force?
What? Because we're badasses. Or maybe Emperor What's-His-Name has something against you. Okay, I haven't mentioned it yet, but this place is nuts.
Yes, these are dark times for our land. But there are a few of us fighting to change the way things are. Is that why you've come? To join us and fight for the liberation of humanity?
You know, I don't really know. Haven't really thought about it yet, but so far that's the best explanation I've heard.
Oh, come on. Fucking sick of you guys. All right. While I'm slaying these dudes, you get that gate open, okay? God, she's awesome.
Welcome to episode 44 of Box News. I am here with pro gamer Andrea Lana to talk about the game from Lionhead Studios by, I believe his name is Peter Molyneux. No, she doesn't know. Going to talk about Fable II, as this October Fable 3 will be released under the same production company. Here you see Fable 2 gameplay. The nice thing about this game, you can play as a male or female, so it's welcoming to both male and female audiences. What are we doing exactly right now, Andrea Lana?
There was a guy who had these evil goblin things attacking his house, and so he asked me to go kill him. So I'm doing that.
Okay, so are you like a knight, or what is your character exactly? Can you give us a summary of like the main story of the game?
Basically, when you're a little girl,
Or boy.
Or boy, yeah, for me, girl. But you grow up, you're an orphan, it's just you and your sister, and then one night, the rich guy in town invites you to his house. So you and your sister go there thinking that you were going to be adopted by this man and finally have money and food and whatnot. And he ends up killing your sister to sacrifice her for some ritual. It's been a while since I played this game. I don't necessarily remember, but I think it's for some ritual, like he's trying to bring his wife and his child back to life. They died, I think she died in childbirth or something. But anyway, so he kills your sister and knocks you out the window, and you actually survive, and are saved by a gypsy woman who raises you, and when you get to a certain age, you basically set out to avenge your sister's death.
Okay, so pretty much the tutorial of the game does take place when you're a kid. It said the thing about the game before it came out says you get to grow up and live basically through fulfill your own fantasy, but it actually, the story does jump quite some time from being a kid to being much older and going back to the place where you grew up. Some of the nice perks about the game: you can purchase properties. There's free will basically. You can be a good or bad character, and depending on how you go through the story and how you do things, you could actually grow a halo, or devil horns. And then also your companion, which is your dog, will either be a lighter color or he'll turn completely black. It'll also influence the towns to have lower prices for you or higher prices for you, depending on your respect level with them. And here we see a death. But the nice thing about a death is you just lose experience points. You actually don't get launched back to your last save. Now, what era does this game take place? What time period?
Oh, like way back in the day. I don't even know what time period it would be, to be honest with you.
Almost like a Renaissance period?
I guess,
The clothing reminds me of that.
Probably.
Now, there's a lot of things to do in this game. A lot of people think it's just an RPG, but I feel it's more than an RPG. I don't know how to categorize this game. If there was a category called Absolute Fun, I would say that that's where it would fit. There's mini games. There's little hidden things like you just found there. You just found the silver key, and each item you find, it has details on what it does, a little history you find. Isn't there hidden cards also, or something like that? Diaries. There's all kinds of things. There's mini games. You can go to the bar, be a bartender. You can be a wood chopper. You can be what do they call the metal?
Something Smith.
Something Smith. You could be a something Smith. I'm drawing a blank. All you can comment and correct mine and her error. But I mean, there's different things you can do just to get money, to kill time. There's card games. There's all kinds of other games. Before the game came out, they actually had pub games, which was an Xbox Live arcade game. And you could earn money that way before the game even came out. Unfortunately, I did not purchase that because it was like another $10 or $15. But it's a nice thing to have before the game came out if you're really deep into the Fable series. What else can I talk about? Some of the weaponry. Obviously, you're going to get a wide assortment of guns and weapons you can purchase and level up. You get augments to put on the weapons to gain certain attributes. And those little orbs that you're getting here, explain to me what the different orbs do.
I'll be honest with you, I don't really remember. One of them is like your power. I don't even remember. It's been so long since I played this game. Do you?
One's for sword skill.
Okay.
One is for gun skill. The other is for your special power skill. Basically, however you kill your enemy, you're going to get a bonus from that skill. Let's say you just use your sword. You're going to power that sword up much, much faster than if you were to use your gun or magical power. And then the fourth one that you've seen there was experience overall, just like bonus experience. If you do things in like a sweet way, like there you see your powers, charging them up. You see you just annihilated everyone. You just got a bunch of red and green, normal experience, and then the red, which is your power. You see that? So that's what you just got for that fight. Now to gather them, unlike other games, you actually have to hold the right trigger and it gathers the experience orbs. Not really much of an inconvenience. You see here there's chests you can search, you find new clothing. What is going on in that fire?
Game glitch.
We have a glitch.
Creep-tastic.
So that does happen in games from time to
Is
time.
that a crib?
Crib? It sure is, with a
Ew.
skull in it. Yeah. See, there's hidden things all throughout here. There's also towns in the game. You can go buy food. You can basically romance is the clean term, I guess. They actually have in your stats, they track your STDs. So you can see how many STDs you got, because you can actually use condoms in this game, which I'm pretty sure condoms weren't around in that time period. But hey, it's in the game, you know. Video games are supposed to be, you know, fictional, so. But you can have a wife or wives or male companions, female companions, whichever you prefer. This game does not discriminate, which is great. You can also murder your family and any of the townspeople if you want to be evil. You can rob the stores and just go around killing everything and anything that comes in your path. But the thing most people complained about, why can't I kill my own child? Well, because that's...
About that?
Yeah. Well, because it's kind of sick. But, hey, if you want to live your life, you know, through a fantasy game, that's fine. Just don't, you know, do it in real life, but... It's just kind of weird. But you get different items from different things. You get food that can heal you. You get clothing that has certain effects on your attributes. And there's all kinds of different things. There's been 2 expansions to this. So there's more quests after you beat the main story. The game does have 3 different endings, each with its own achievement. I believe it was 100 points each. Something like that. There was like a really good ending, a bad ending, and then a neutral ending. How did it work?
There was a bad, neutral, and a really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah, the neutral one was and then there was like a really, really good one and a really, really awful one.
Now, after you finish the game, you can still continue to play through it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. You don't have to stop. You just keep playing off of, you know, people will feel about you differently depending on how you chose to play the game and what path you chose to take while you were at the end there. So, and then as you can see, your character will change. Sometimes if I get close to a wall, I'm old and I have scars because of some choices I made in the game. Those scars are like wounds. The more you get hit, the more scars you have. And then of course I'm like huge and buff because I have all my body points up or whatever. Which, yes, you can be a woman, but you can't really be a womanly woman because you have to up your
You have to be
body
strong.
attributes, yeah. So like you're like a tough looking woman.
Okay.
Which is fine. It's just, if you're looking to be like a sexy lady, that's just not going to happen.
Now, here's everyone's question. Does the game have Xbox Live? Yes, it does. A lot of people don't know how it works. Well, what happens is, if your friends are also playing the game, you're going to see a little orb floating around with their gamer tag on it. You're going to see them walking around the town, but not their actual body. You'll see their arm with their orb with their gamer tag floating above it. And basically, you just killed Tommy.
Well, Tommy, who was dressed like a woman with potatoes as his boobs, did you see that? Awkward.
It's different.
See, look at Tommy's dressed like a woman. Not that it matters.
Freedom of choice in this game. Everything is choice and options. You can play whatever you want to do. Tommy chose to be a woman as a male. There's your dog.
Hey, dog. Hey, doggy.
Now you can name your dog. You can name your family.
I think he's injured.
He is injured. You need to heal him. You can feed him treats. You can feed him tricks to help you out. He also digs up treasures and different things. So he is an important companion to you in this game. Press down in the direction of Patty.
See that?
Now, the dog will be back in Fable 3. That was obviously a popular feature. But let me touch real quick on the Xbox Live. The Xbox Live, like I said, you see an orb. You can go up to the orb and interact it. You can gift them. You can also join their session. So you can go to their save game file and help them out in missions. With this being done, though, you can also put your trust into someone. If you're trying to be good, they can essentially just start killing your townspeople, and it puts that on you as being a bad character for like your friend being, you know, evil, makes you look evil. So there's always that trust. Don't invite some random person. So put it friends only, and sometimes I would just put it invite only, because people can just randomly join in your session and start killing people. We got a minute or two left, so I basically want to ask you, you know, what were your favorite parts of the game? What did you enjoy? Like, just tell me about the game. Like, why was it so great to you?
No longer will women's underwear disappear from laundry lines.
That's creepy.
It's so fun to play. You can really, really choose your own path. You can choose how you want to act. You can choose what to do. Look at that. Look at all those men who love me. And a couple women. This woman has a gift for me.
Ooh.
I know, hey.
She gave you extract.
Yeah. And you get, see the crowns above my head? I got, what are those, like,
Renown?
hero points? Yeah, renown points, because I got rid of the women's underwear stealing weirdo in the town.
And that's what unlocks quests, I forgot to inform. When you get more renown, you can do more things in the game. There's main story, there's also side quests. Uh-oh.
Random just showed up. These people are all going to be afraid of me now because I'm killing in front of them. They don't like that.
They don't like violence. Oh, you might want to say that person. They're getting murdered. Well, this is Fable 2. I'm going to wrap things up now. This has gotten lengthy.
Woo.
As she dies. It's a good time to wrap it
Good
up.
time.
But thank you again. What do you give this game?
I give it an A, for sure. This game is so much fun to play. If
So-
you don't like this game...
This is a must-own, high
Oh,
replayability.
yeah. You got, I mean, this is a great game.
Lots to explore. There's hidden things all over. There's so much to do in this game. Plus, it's just fun to go around and be a whore. And on that note, I want to thank you for watching another episode of Box News. Be on the lookout this October for Fable 3. It's hopefully going to be bigger and better, if they can do that, than Fable 2. Exclusive to Xbox 360, I must add. So if you don't own an Xbox, sorry. Go get one. It's worth it. Just don't go get the red rings. Anyways, thank you again, and continue to look out for more episodes of Box News coming soon.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force. You are about to embark upon the Great Crusade, toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. he will fight savagely. But this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 1940-41. The United Nations have inflicted upon the Germans great defeats in open battle, man to man. Our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war, and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
Welcome to episode 45 of Box News. Here you see Call of Duty 2. This review is for the Call of Duty series, not including the two new Modern Warfare games. So this is covering Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, and World at War, basically all the games that have taken place in World War II. Here we see gameplay from the Xbox 360 of Call of Duty 2, the attack on D-Day. The thing I really enjoy about the Call of Duty series is that they're very historically accurate for the most part. They aren't just, I don't know, I like the modern games, but I like learning stuff from battles. I like going to locations. I like reliving moments in history. I feel like you learn stuff from a game at that point. As you can see, the drama of the game and just the intensity of the game is heavy. This is not by any means a fun battle or a happy time in our history. If you know anything about history, this is a very important battle that the Americans and other forces had to overcome. I definitely recommend looking up some history books and learning more about this war, because it was one of the most important wars in our history. And that's why I really enjoy the Call of Duty series over the Modern Warfare series. Yes, it's nice to shoot some modern guns and use modern technology, but honestly, anyone can make those games, and it seems to be the popular trend that everyone is trying to do now. Now, this game, Call of Duty 2, was made by Infinity Ward, who, if you're familiar with, has made Modern Warfare 1 and 2. The other company that made the Call of Duty series was Treyarch. They made number 1, number 3, and World at War. So it used to be they were going back and forth. Now Treyarch is actually making the new Black Ops game, which is supposed to jump around in different time periods. We're supposed to get a variety of warfare ranging from different wars. So that should be an interesting game. But see, this game, obviously you don't have the nukes getting dropped on you. You don't have the radar. Well, I mean, you have a compass down there, which, I mean, it works as a modern radar. Compass obviously doesn't pinpoint where all your troops are. But the story of these games have always been fantastic. Even in Modern Warfare, they had a great story. But, like I said, you go through historical, important battles throughout the history. We're getting messed up. I have Andrea Lana here playing the gameplay for me, so I can try to focus on talking about this. Just
you gotta say that so you can save face.
so I don't look like I suck on camera. But no, you know, this is just a fantastic You are getting
I am
annihilated.
not very good.
This is, you know, you can find at your local game stores. Call of Duty 2 is, honestly, you can get it for $5. If you want just like a shooter game to pick up and play for a while and you're sick of, you know, the other shooters, pick up this one. There is Xbox Live available for it, so you can play online. What are you doing?
Killed him.
Oh god.
And there's a grenade.
She's just running and gunning, folks. She thinks she can take out the German troops single-handedly. You weren't able to.
No. Someone tells me they're a little bit stronger than me.
Now with this game, you do jump around to different militaries. You do, what is it, French Army is one of them?
I think you do the, yeah.
French Army is one of them. You jump around basically playing the role of a certain character. One of them is a private, one's a different, you know, role or rank for an officer. And you jump around and play their stories basically. And it kind of gives you a brief story about where they come from, different things. Some are there to rescue them, some found out up with their brother. No, it's not Saving Private Ryan, but it's a well-written story, even if you can add much story to a first-person shooter like this. But like I said, the historical value of the game is amazing. I would give the series as a whole, I give a solid B. I really don't, you know, what they could do to improve it. Making, you know, bigger campaigns, longer campaigns. I mean, I'm satisfied with the 12+ hour campaign. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot of game time. And back at 2, the emphasis wasn't online, so they had a better, you know, story back then. And just like I said, all I can say is the historical value of these games is, you know, wonderful. Anything you want to add that I feel like I missed? You played all these and beaten them all.
I like them. I really do. And I'm not a big fan of, like, it's hard to impress me with a first-person shooter, but the stories are amazing. Now, I mean, I don't want to talk about the online because I'm awful at it, obviously. I know that's hard to believe.
Well, 2 is limited. They really only had, like, deathmatch and capture the flag.
Right, but the series as a whole now is known for the online, which I don't necessarily like.
Well, it's Modern Warfare. That's the game that kicked it into gear. And Call of Duty's been around for a long time. Number 2 is one of the first games I got for the 360 when it came out. I think I got it back, what was that, that Christmas?
Yeah, I don't even remember that.
So, I mean,
but you did get one of them for the second
it's
one.
quite old. We're looking at, this game right here is about 5 years old. So, I mean, the graphics are, you know, good. They're not amazing. But, I mean, for the launch of the system, this was, you know, fantastic. This game does really capture the intensity of a battle. Not that other games don't. But Call of Duty as a series definitely is the leading war game out there. I know Medal of Honor has been around. They're relaunching their series here this fall. So I guess we'll have to see, you know, how Medal of Honor does. There's another one out there too. That was in contention. But those were the 2 big ones that I had always played on. On the PlayStation, I played Medal of Honor, and then when Xbox came out, I started playing Call of Duty. But it's a great series. It's, you know, obviously the numbers and sales really tell the story that this has been a successful series. I'm pretty sure Call of Duty 2 was Game of the Year when it came out, or best-selling, anyways. And obviously we know the history of the Modern Warfare games, which originally were called Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but now they dropped that because of Infinity Ward and Activision and all those bastards with all their money and their lawsuits. So yeah, big F you to you guys. You guys are all crazy and money hungry. And EA, you too, here's one for you. But anyways, not enough of my anger towards those companies. But yeah, great, you know, great game. Any last things? What would you grade it?
Are we talking about the series as a whole?
Series as a whole.
Oh, the series as a whole, it's okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
What are your most memorable battles in the series? Like,
this one, so the D-Day battle, and is that a German?
oh, they are all in there.
Don't worry, I got it. Silly German.
Yeah, they should have concentrated. Maybe they should go to camp.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, it's in the era.
I'm just kidding.
We're in the
Whoa,
era.
those are mine. Let's not go walking in there. I'm dead. No, I think the series as a whole is pretty good. Unfortunately, I think they stopped focusing on the story and started focusing too much on online because that's what everybody bought the games for, and it suffered because of it. The modern story isn't as interesting to me as the historical ones. But people like the game, and
people like the online.
yeah, which I'm not good at. If I was better at it, maybe I'd like it more. But
Well, it's
let's
all the
be honest,
hacking
I'm
and
awful.
modding and
Stupidness.
stupidness. But yeah, definitely pick up any Call of Duty game. You're gonna be pleased with it. But parents, it's not for kids. As you can see, there is violence. So I definitely.
It's a war game. If you're a parent buying a war game for your kid and not expecting it to be violent,
Yeah.
you're an idiot. And I don't feel bad for you.
But I mean, if you want your kid to learn something slightly, pick up one of the older Call of Duty games, because you're really not going to learn anything from the new ones.
That we don't already know.
Yeah. War is never
Or that you can't already get in Fox News.
Fox News or Box News. Anyways, thank you for watching this review on Call of Duty series as a whole. Like I said, this does not include the 2 Modern Warfare games. I already did a review on that. So look for that if you're interested in hearing what I have to say on the Modern Warfare series. But thank you again, and yeah, any last things?
No, that's it. That's
Subscribe or else. That's right. Shoot his knee out. Well, thank you again, and have a wonderful day. Welcome to episode 47 of Box News. If you're wondering what these images are, they are images of the Godfather 2, which is a game released last summer for the Xbox 360 and the PS3. It's a sandbox game that kind of separates itself from any of the other sandbox games. As you can see, there's a map here with different things, there's different businesses. You basically go around gaining your mafia, and there's different types of mafia members that you can gain. There's they have specialties. There's like robbers, there's explosives, there's napalm. Like there's just different. And there's strong guys. There's drivers. There's different specialties for each of these fighters that you can pick up and add to your gang. You basically have to manipulate them and just gain respect within this mafia, and then you gain members. You can have them all ride in your car with you, much like other sandbox games, and go through the town. There's different cities. There's like LA, Florida, New York, DC. I believe that was the main four. I could be wrong though. You go through the different cities and take them over business by business, mafia by mafia, and then eventually taking care of the strongholds from the bad guys. It's third person, just like GTA and Crackdown and Just Cause, other sandbox games that you just control. Like that's how you control your character. The directional pads allows you to summon your mafia members to work with you, get sent to different areas and whatnot. Also in your map, like that you see here, you can send them to do different things while you're in another mission. So it's really cool in that aspect. It's a short game though. You beat it probably around 10 to 15 hours tops. It's really fun and easy to learn. The environments are really cool. Having your enemies kind of help you out and just send them places is a really cool feature. So overall, it's a fun, sandbox game. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but I definitely recommend it. As you can see the screenshots here, these are all in-game screenshots. It's really fun. Sandbox games do have replayability. There's also brief online. And just the missions are fun. Everything about the game is fun. Definitely recommend it. I want to thank you for watching another episode of Box News. Sorry about the short review here, but it's just kind of a throwback game. I've been doing these as of late. So I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely pick up The Godfather 2. And then another one that's themed of this nature is Mafia 2, which will be available this fall. So be on the lookout for that. Similar theme, but I guarantee Mafia 2 will blow The Godfather 2 away. And will we probably see the Godfather 3 game? More than likely. So definitely check it out. Godfather 1's available now also. You can get probably both of these games together under 20 bucks. So pick it up and subscribe, tell your friends, do what you can. A couple more episodes left, and then I'll be taking a break for a little while. And then I'll be back with more game reviews. Thank you again. Please subscribe. Welcome to episode 48. Box News finally got Staple Gun, the pro gamer, to come out and do a review.
Oh yeah, so pro.
So pro. He is unstoppable in games like Blazblue and Halo. So challenge him, I dare you. This is Blazblue, and Staple Gun is the pro at it. I really don't know much about this game, so I'm going to let him take over, describe characters, if there's a story, or why you should or shouldn't play it. So, yeah.
Alright, well, I think it's honestly a much better game than Street Fighter. It's a game you can pick up and play a lot quicker than you could with Street Fighter. You can get away with easy combinations. It's a lot different from normal fighting games that just have punch, kick, throw. It has the A button, which is a drive button, which is different for each character. So in the case of the character I'm using right now, Jin, he'll do ice moves. So you can do different button combinations to do that. Dash, obviously, like those are light punches, and kicks. And then there's dashes, and basically, I mean, you can see you can just button mash and they're all combos like it's nothing. But I mean, obviously, once you play against better people, you have to have better timing to try to get the hang of it.
So obviously, by the looks of this game, this is an arcade fighter, very similar to games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, anything of that genre. Now, you said you compare it to Street Fighter. How does it differentiate control-wise or like play-wise?
Play-wise, it's a lot smoother. You don't, as far as doing the moves, they don't have to be as precise as you do with Street Fighter, trying to do different combinations. There's also, if you use the right toggle, it's kind of a way to do easy specials. So you don't have to know how to do the right button configurations to pull off better moves. So that's one thing that's really nice. Also, you see at the bottom, they have different bars. Once you get those full, you can use certain specials.
Okay.
So I mean, it is pretty nice. You have to earn really good moves instead of, you know, other games where you get them instantly.
Now, is this game taken from an anime, or is this just an original idea just for a game?
I'm not sure if it's taken from an anime, but I know it's not the first time
That Blazblue has been out? Okay.
Yeah.
I know this is Blazblue for 360. There's Continuum Shift, which is available now, which is the follow-up to fix some of the mistakes in this one, basically having characters who are extremely stronger than others. 3 in particular, I was told.
Yeah, you go to the...
Now, what are some of the game modes in this?
Some of the game modes, you can do training like I was just doing, you can do versus, or you can play against a friend. Network, you can go online. The online system works really well. You can do ranked matches or just matches for fun. Don't really notice too many issues with lag. If you do, you get kicked out of the room, so it's not like it ruins the game for everyone else.
Okay, so it just boots you, so you can just start a new one.
Boots you, so...
Now, there's story mode. How well is the story in this?
The story mode is actually pretty cool because depending on the character that you play and the fights that you win or lose, it changes the story for that character. So as you go through, you'll learn about the characters and how they got to certain points throughout the story. And you know, if you lose to this character, it changes the story in the end. And then basically you get achievements as you unlock certain parts of the story.
Okay, so it's beneficial to play the story in this game.
Yes.
Are there lots of unlockables? Because I know with arcade fighters, the perks to playing that for hours and hours is for all the unlockables you get.
Yeah, some of the perks, if you go through the stories with the characters, you can have certain, right there, like if you beat it with Ragna, see how it says unlimited next to his name there?
Yeah.
That little icon, it'll unlock a stronger Ragna that you can use.
Oh, okay. Now, can you use that online?
If they allow it.
If they allow
you can
it,
set certain rules to use unlimited characters. You can block people from using easy specials.
Gotcha.
So you have to know what you're
So
doing.
there is a balance to it.
Yeah, so you can have like rooms for beginners, rooms for experts.
Okay, so this isn't intimidating like Street Fighter was for
No,
beginners.
it's a lot more organized. You
more welcoming.
You can choose your opponent. So like say you're level 30 and you see opponents like a 74. You know you're not going to want to try that. You might want to go for like 25 or 30 that you might see. And then if they challenge you, you can either accept or decline. So it's not like you're forced.
It's more welcoming, more balanced. I like that in a game because I'm very intimidated by arcade fighters because I'm not good at them. So I was very, I'm not drawn to them because I'm not good. Just like racing games, I'm not drawn to them because I'm not good. But why don't you show me a fight, an example of one?
Of what?
Of a fight.
Oh, okay. This is set up.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1, action!
Yep. Yeah, I'm Acumen on the left. His drive button is a counter. So like if I counter his attack, it'll well, he actually attacks. He's not doing that. And then in like most fighting games, there's low hits and high, and you have to block low or high. That's one thing that's pretty nice too is the shield. You get basically like an energy type shield. And then at any time, say you're getting stuck in a corner, and you keep being comboed, you can't do anything. If you press, it depends on how you set up in your controls, but if you press like certain button combination, then your shield will break like that, and it'll blow your opponent away from you. So it really weakens you when you take hits. When you take hits, you take a lot more damage, but you also can save yourself from dying. So it's really worth it if you time it out well.
Okay. Now, are there finishing moves like we've seen in other arcade games?
Yep. I'll show you an example of one.
You rip people's heads off, turn them into animals.
Yeah, I'll show you one here. Like with this, I mean, Acumen's a little different of a character. He's probably one of the ones that are listed as one of the cheaper ones because he's just really good.
Yeah.
When he hits you for a lot. One thing that's nice too is when you're playing online, you can save replays. So if you have a really good fight,
you can
save it.
That's
so
cool.
I've got pretty good.
I've noticed a lot of games are starting to adapt that feature that Halo perfected.
Yeah.
I heard the new Call of Duty Black Ops is actually going to have that, where you can edit and review your matches.
Yeah, this one was one that I played against my friend John, let's see, that's interesting. Game version does not match.
That's weird.
Well, never had an issue before.
Well, apparently there was an update. It doesn't match it. But you do have the ability.
Yeah, it might just be because I haven't played online in a while and I haven't got any updates. Or the only other thing I can think is I might have switched discs with a friend. Because my friend's got it too. I mean, that could have been it too. But you can watch replays, from other fights. So I mean, it's pretty cool once it works. But yeah, you can save the whole fight, so you can have some really cool finishes.
Give me a rundown then, like why you'd recommend or not recommend this game as a last thought.
I'd recommend it, definitely because it's easy to pick up and play. You don't have to know what you're doing. You can play against people who are rookies in the game, and then has a good online system. You can pick up and play anytime. You find opponents, especially as it's been released or become more popular now. Also, I mean, the drive feature is unique for each character. So, I mean, like with Jin, you saw it was ice. With Acumen, it's counter. For other characters, it's all kinds of different things. I definitely recommend it over Street Fighter. The soundtrack is really good too. I mean, it's really, some of the music will get you going. But yeah, I definitely recommend it over Street Fighter because it's just easier to pick up and play. The combos are a lot easier to pull off, and obviously the online system is much better.
Okay. If you had to give it a final grade, like a school grade, what would you give it?
I'd say a B+.
B+.
Yeah, because I mean there are improvements that can be done as far as balancing certain characters, certain combos that are really hard to break. You'll get against certain people that just are unstoppable because they found a really good combination with a certain character. But yeah, I mean, with the continuum shift, I've heard that they've made corrections, and
we'll see on that.
Few characters as well. So.
Well, all right. This was Blazblue, I believe. I don't know if it's for PS3 also. It may be. It is. Okay, it's for PS3 and 360. They might make a dumbed-down version for the Wii. I don't know. Look it up. Basically, thank you for watching another episode. Thanks to, as you can see in the corner, Staple Gun. Add him on Xbox Live, but don't challenge him because you'll just get owned. So thank you again. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome to episode 49 here with Staple Gun, and we're going to talk Halo, the complete series, including Halo, Halo 2, Halo ODST, and Halo 3. Here you see some clips from some of Staple Gun's most famous replays.
This is one of my favorites.
Had no clue.
No idea what was coming.
Let's start off, obviously we're going to see clips from Halo 3. Let's start off with Halo 1. We're going to review the entire series, the fastest and most thorough way possible. Halo 1 basically was released on the Xbox. Basically starts the series, the jump to what Xbox is today. It's really been the flagship for Xbox and its success. I feel, anyways. I don't see any other games until the recent success of Call of Duty. I don't see any other games that have been.
Yeah, it's the only thing that's kept me on the Xbox. Otherwise, I probably would have switched to PS3 by now.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people, why they're exclusive, because Call of Duty is on both systems.
Yeah.
But this isn't a comparison. I'm not starting a war with people because for some reason people who play Call of Duty can't play Halo. Halo people can't play Call. I don't know why the war is out there. It's like war of good and evil. There's no happy medium. But anyways, Halo. Obviously, the original trilogy is the story of Master Chief and his journey, to help the Spartans, fight the Covenant. Halo 1, we have I don't even know how long the campaign was. I'd say 12 hours on average, depending on how you play it, what level of difficulty you play it on, and if you're looking for hidden skulls and all that. Great campaign. It's obviously, like I said, it launched the series. It didn't have Xbox Live though. Halo 1 did not. Halo 1 only had the split screen multiplayer, but that did not stop people from doing system links, doing projector TVs. I mean, everybody who has a Halo story will remember Halo 1 for getting together with friends and playing split screen. That's what I remember specifically. Do you remember doing Halo 1?
I remember that more with Halo 2.
Halo 2 getting together and do it, that's when you got really into it?
Yeah.
Halo 1, with Bungie, the graphics have not changed drastically much since the beginning of Halo. They've become smoother, they've become less choppy. We've seen improvements with how characters, respond to deaths. There's more, character movement. There's better weapons. But really, the core graphics engine has not changed since the beginning. But let's talk Halo 2 now. That was the one that had Xbox Live. That's really what launched Xbox Live and its success in, 2005, 2004. It was about that time period. And recently this year, you can no longer play Xbox One games online, which was kind of a sad story. So sorry, Halo 2 fans, you had to stop playing Halo 2 online.
Although some people did stick it out for weeks.
Yep, weeks after they shut it down. If you were still connected to the server, you wouldn't get booted. It's when you disconnected. So there was a small group of people still playing matches after they shut it down.
Yeah.
So that's dedication to a game. Halo 2 featured a split campaign where you would go as the Spartan Master Chief, and then you would go as the Arbiter from the Covenant, and it would go back and forth, the story of those two, and then obviously they come together in 3, which was a good segue to talk about 3, which you team up in that one. If you're playing 2-player co-op campaign, you play together, one is the Spartan, one is the Arbiter, and you play through, fighting off the Flood, and, basically not ending the war, but giving you on the, pretty much stopping everything. But they don't really give you a good closure on it. A lot of fans were mad about the end of Halo 2, and then also with the end of Halo 3. There's no good closure on the war. And they don't know what happened to Master Chief. There's just...
Yeah, there's that element of mystery.
Yeah. Which then they released ODST, which to me was a borderline fail. The campaign was okay, had a decent story to it, but they made you as, orbital drop shock troopers.
Yep.
And you have health, and you have to find health packs. I understand the point of it, but after playing years of having an overshield recharge...
Yeah, it was a bit different, but at the same time, it makes sense.
It makes sense, but it changes
You're
the
not
way...
Master Chief anymore. You're not...
It changes the
super
way you play Halo.
Spartan. Yeah. It also made firefighting really interesting.
Yeah, Firefight, which was a new mode they added, which they're bringing back Firefight 2.0 for Reach, which will be out within the next few weeks, September 14th to be exact. Depending when you watch this video, it might be out already, it might not be. But when we're doing this review right now, the game's not out yet, so we're not including that game in our review. We can talk about the beta, but that was actually my first episode of Box News. So.
Alright.
Okay, sorry about the cut. We had technical difficulties with things. Back to where we left off was Firefight mode. They're bringing it back for Reach and blah blah blah. Not going to talk about Reach. I'll have a Reach review in a month or so, or however long it takes me to get through it. Let's talk about obviously the game that's most played, the most successful one, and the one that's still being played daily is Halo 3. We're going to turn it over to Staplegun now to give his in-depth thoughts, as he is the expert on Halo 3. Tell me why you play it, your thoughts on the story, the thoughts on online, like what has drawn you to the game and what keeps you playing it.
What keeps me playing it is, I don't know, just a good variety of playlists that they have online. If you get sick of just killing people, then there's different objectives that you can do, like capture the flag, or which is the clip I'm actually showing right now. Something different than just killing. Other than that, Bungie, they do have double experience weekends, which it's an incentive for some people that are trying to get level 50s and be 5-star generals.
That's every single weekend.
Yes, yeah, every single weekend it's something different. Different playlists that will keep people playing, like Griffball. I'm personally not a big fan of Griffball just because of the amount of people that are now playing it.
They found cheating
cheats.
Yeah, I loved it when it came out, but now that there's cheats, it's not as fun as it used to be.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it's fun when you get, especially when you meet friends online. People that I didn't know before that play Halo.
It's definitely a huge community.
That play quite a bit. A lot more than I do, and they know all the call-outs. Well, they know all the call-outs and everything, like, Red 4, like, Red, I'm like,
it's like a military operation to some of these people, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm
they take
like,
it so serious.
I'll be like, he's by the shotgun, they'll be like, Red 4, I'm like, okay, sure. But
there's clans out there that try to recruit you, and there's hardcore gamers out there that just play this game. It's insane.
Yeah, and, I mean, there are a lot of people that are annoying, but I mean that's with any shooter.
It's the Xbox Live game.
Yeah.
You're going to deal with kids that shouldn't be playing it because they're underage. And more so with this game because of its commercial success.
Yes.
Now you're showing us clips here. This is one of the cool features of Halo 3. Basically explain, how to do a clip and what you can do with them.
Basically, whenever you do anything online, it'll record anything and everything that happens in the match. You can see it from anyone's point.
It's not just online. It's any local or any type of match you play.
Yeah, any point of
campaign you can film too.
Yeah, any point of view you want to see from, you can. And then say you got a good kill or something like that, then you can record it. You can shoot it from different angles. You can do all kinds of things to make the clip, look the way you want it to. That's a nice feature. That happens a lot where you're playing with friends and they're like, okay, well, hold on, I gotta go back and save that because, just got a really good kill, or if you die and you have no idea how it happened. One thing that's nice about this, compared to like Call of Duty, is you can go back and look and say, okay, well, that guy obviously sniped me. He was being cheap or whatever. So it's not really a mystery as to why he died. So like that, I got sniped, but threw a sticky as I was dying, and killed him, but he finished me. So it's kind of cool to see,
So it's almost like studying tapes if you're a football player of the other team's plays, and obviously you're not playing the same people all the time, but you start to figure out strategies on certain maps, and it's beneficial sometimes to save a match, or even just for bragging rights, like you own someone and you want to show it off. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many things you can do with it.
Yeah, or I mean, if there's anything like where you question something that happened, you can always go back and look at it. Or if there's something that you might find to improve your own game, like how a certain player captured a flag, or what they did. It's really beneficial to go back and look at that.
Now, your thoughts on the campaign? You played through 3s completely on Legendary, right?
Yep.
Okay. Did you enjoy the campaign, or are you just more drawn to the online?
No, I really like the campaign. I like the variety of the enemies that you face throughout it. I mean, it would be kind of cool to have more like big boss type of characters, but
Yeah.
but I mean that's never really been what Halo's been about.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, other than that, have different weapons for those. That would be a nice feature. But other than that, I mean, I really don't have any complaints about the campaign. It kind of left you with hanging on at the end. You don't know what's going to happen or what really did happen, but
You may never know.
Yeah.
You're still in Reach. It's not about.
and and hopefully you never know. I mean, I don't really want to see them keep making this franchise.
Yeah.
And
We're hoping Reach is the last one.
yeah, because I mean, honestly, the improvements from 2 to 3 weren't very drastic.
Significant, no.
I mean, there's
Visually, they're good, obviously, because
Visually.
of hardware.
Yeah, they worked out a few bugs as far as like super jumps or things like that you could do in Halo 2. So I mean, that is one thing that's nice too.
Now, obviously, we're not going to give any recommendations. This game has been out for, it'll be 3 years now, next month.
Yep.
So, if you haven't played Halo 3 or any of the Halo games yet, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, I mean, especially if you own an Xbox. Like,
yeah, what do
why
you,
not at
if
least
you
give
own
it
an
a try?
Xbox and if you haven't played Halo, give it a try. Suck it up. I don't know why. If you hate it, why? I'm sorry. I don't know. I'd be lost for words if you truly have never played it and never wanted to. But I can't recommend it enough. It's an enjoyable experience. You can get Halo 3 or 2 or 1 for heck under $20 for each one of them anywhere online or even in your local game stores. So pick it up. It's worth every penny. Definitely, complete the series, get all the games, and then definitely recommend Reach September 14th. Like I said, don't want to get too much away on that, but you can find out about it if you search online. But Halo, thumbs up. I'd give it an A.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully with Reach now, I mean, the improvements that they're making will give people what they want as far as new weapons, which they've already done. Different upgrades.
Yeah, just something different, some new way of leveling up your character. There's so many new things that are coming in Reach, so
Yeah.
definitely check it out. Like I said, I can't talk high enough about the series.
It seems like with the complaints that people have had about the first couple of games are working and getting corrected now, so hopefully that will all work out and it's as good as people are hoping it's going to be.
Well, I want to thank Stable Gun for getting together with me and doing a review. Hope you enjoyed our thoughts. Our thoughts on the Halo series, and basically stay tuned. This is my last episode for a while, so stay tuned for more. Thank you again for watching. Any shout outs, Stable Gun? Say
No.
hi, Mom.
Love doesn't
Alright.
watch YouTube.
Okay. Well, thanks again for watching. This is just a thank you to everyone who's watched now 49 episodes of Box News. This is my last one that I will post for a few weeks here. Getting ready for a big move, moving to the other side of the state, so I got a lot of things that I'll be doing for the next few weeks. I'll try to post some videos, but no reviews will be up for a little while. My first review up will be episode 50. I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite games of all time. So that'll be a pretty good one. I got to put some thought into it, because just to pick out of every single game ever made, just to pick 5 games is going to be a very difficult task. I don't know if I'll be able to put them in order, but I will try. But just pretty much just thank you, all for subscribing. Thank you all for viewing even just one episode. I appreciate all of you. I want to thank all my friends, here in this town that I'm leaving. Just thank you for being a friend of mine all these years. It's been a pleasure knowing you, and this isn't the end. It's just I'll be a little farther away. So thank you for everything. Thank you all. Thank you people who don't know me. Just thank you for being supportive of what I'm trying to do and accomplish here with Box News. So stay tuned for episode 50. We'll be up probably somewhere in the month of September. And keep joining in. I'm not stopping this. This is going strong. I still have dozens upon dozens of games left to review. So thank you all again, and until next time. It's finally here, episode 50 of Box News. Thank you for being patient and waiting these couple weeks while I move across the state so I can start a new chapter in my life. But this is not stopping. Box News is going to be regularly uploaded every Sunday from here out, or try to anyways. I apologize, this one's posted Monday. But every Sunday from here out, a new episode will be up, covering a new game, old game, just news in general. I'm also adding a new segment, answering your questions and giving you the industry news and gaming news at the end of each video. Alright, this one covers my top 5 favorite games of all time, which was a very hard list to compile. Basically, it took me a lot of digging, a lot of old, a lot of new games, what I really enjoyed the most and what I can go back to and still get that same enjoyment today. Start off with number 5. I could not pick a single game in the series, so I had to say the Grand Theft Auto series is number 5. If I had to pick one though, I really enjoyed San Andreas probably the most out of them. But the Part 3 was the most influential of the GTA series for me, to get me really hooked on the series. I enjoyed 1 and 2 with the bird's eye view on the PS1, but I'd say the one that really was like, okay, I gotta get a system to get this game, was the GTA 3 for the PS2. Went over to Home Skillet's house and he completely sold me on the game. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So I had to, pick that game up and pick that system up just because of that game. So that was number 5, and that's why. Number 4, as a kid, everyone remembers, moments of Mario, as did I. But number 4, the original Sonic the Hedgehog for Sega. That was, the big launch for Sega as being relevant. Unfortunately, it had its demise, several years later. But Sonic, still prevalent today. But yeah, Sonic, just the original one. I mean, they're all fun. I love the addition of Miles, Tails, as you call them. Knuckles was awesome. Just the characters, the colors, and the music and everything was just very memorable for me. Number 3, I remember playing this game in the arcades before I actually got it on the NES, was Super Mario Bros. 2. This is the one, spoiler alert, where you play through the whole game and then Mario wakes up and it was just a dream. To me that was like, wow, they didn't add twists and just a side scroller. I thought that was a really cool idea right there. I remember going to the bowling alley growing up and having to ask the parents for quarters so I can go play Super Mario 2, and I always picked the princess. Luigi sucked, his jump was awkward, Mario was just Mario, and Toad was Toad. With the princess you could glide and get over the gaps much easier. But just Super Mario 2, everything about it, the music and just everything, it was just very memorable Mario for me. They were all great. I love the world. That's definitely the runner-up in the Mario series for me. Was 64, coming close behind that. But Super Mario 2 was amazing. If you have never played it, find it, get it on the Wii. It's a classic game for download, so pick that up. Number 2, I couldn't decide which game out of the series of this one to pick, so I picked the series as a whole, was the Metal Gear Solid series. They relaunched the series on the PS1. It was a 2-part series for the NES. Most people don't know that, but look it up. Metal Gear was originally around for the NES.
and then I believe they may have had one for the Game Boy, but don't quote me on that. But just Metal Gear is a series. I love the story, I love the character design, I just love the stealth, espionage, action, as they say. And it was fun. Number 4 really brought back those memories of the series when I got the PS3. But the one that they released for the PlayStation 1, Metal Gear Solid, I got it for Christmas, probably, gosh, I want to say it came out in 97 or 98. And I remember getting that for Christmas and getting the little, strategy guide that came with it by Prima. And playing through that, and it was a 2-disc game. I remember I was like, wow, I got through the first disc of a game, and now I'm on the second, and just it was so challenging. And just one of the things in particular was when you're fighting Psycho Mantis, he reads you can read your thoughts, and what they did was had the game start to read your memory card from your save file, see how many times you died, just basically your stats of your progress through it, and it scans your memory card in a little screen. Instead of video, like when you change your video 1, video 2, it says Hideo, which is Hideo Kojima, which is the guy that designed the game, basically came up with the story, came up with just everything. He created the game, and it just does that. And what you do is you change your memory card from slot A to slot B, so he can't read your memory, so you can actually defeat him. Because if you read your memory, you basically can't use any of your weapons or any of your tactics that you used throughout the game prior to facing him. And you have to... he's invincible at that point, so you have to do that. And it's one of those things that you just figured out by trial and error. I don't even remember how I figured it out, because the internet wasn't booming then. You couldn't look up cheat codes as easily as you can now. And I don't believe it was in the strategy guide. And I don't honestly remember how I figured it out. Might have been word of mouth at school or word of mouth with people, but it was one of those things like, wow, gaming is evolving at that point. And I was 12 or 13 years old, and that was a huge movement for gaming for me. But number 1, my favorite game of all time, still to this day, I'll stand by this, and I'll probably never change this pick, was Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo. I remember playing this so much growing up, and I remember beating it finally. I thought it was one of the hardest, longest RPG games that I've ever played and beat. And it was just so fun to play through again, and the music, the idea of playing through a world, beating it, and then having it be the same exact world but flipped as the Dark World, and just going through all the things again, but everything's slightly twisted. It was a sweet idea. They give you everything happy, and then they give you everything sad and just basically destroyed. And I thought that was a great idea for a game. And I mean, the series as a whole is fantastic. I don't think I've been let down besides Zelda 2, which is their attempt at a side-scroller Zelda. I wasn't too fond of that, but the rest of the series was good. Well, Majora's Mask, besides the timing, where they time you and it resets the day. If you've ever played that, that was for 64. And I really did like Wind Waker. That was a good one. But Link to the Past, if you have never played it, they have it on the Game Boy Advance as like a retro game, which comes part of the Four Swords expansion, which links to the GameCube. Pick it up there. You can get it on the Wii Classic console. If you have a Super Nintendo still, which I give you props if you do, find that game just because it's so much fun. If you've never played it, you're gonna get a thrill out of it. It's a great story. So that's my number 1 game of all time. That was the highlighted part of episode 50. It's not done yet, so don't click stop or navigate away from the page. I got more. Have some industry news that I'm going to talk about. Final Fantasy XIII was scheduled to have downloadable content. It got canceled. Instead, they're going to be releasing an Ultimate Hits edition with stuff for after you fight the final boss, which, if you go back to my review on the game, I found that as a flaw. After you beat the boss, you get nothing. Recently, an Xbox Live gamer was suspended for putting in his profile his home of Fort Gay, West Virginia. Basically, they have a zero tolerance for any sort of expression, which they've been fighting for recently, which they've been allowing people to express their personalities and their their true selves and their profile content. But he was suspended for putting in there the word gay, which people must have complained, found offensive. But that's actually a home, his hometown. It's a base, and he finally got through with Xbox Live support, and they got his account the suspension lifted. So he was suspended for a short period of time for posting just where he's from. There's also a list of a bunch of unique names of cities that would get you suspended on the internet if you just search them. So that was interesting, but they fixed that and it's down, so now if you live in that area, you can repost that you live in that area again. Just try not to be offensive about it. DICE, the company DICE, has shown off its new downloadable content, the expansion of Vietnam. It's supposed to come out by the end of the year. New Xbox 360 bundle coming out this fall in November, which is $399, and it includes the new Kinect, which comes out in November, and a 250 gigabyte hard drive. The exact date is November 4. Okay. EA Sports version of the UFC, their own fighters and whatnot. It's called EA Sports MMA. The demo is out on September 28th. So if you're curious to see how well it is in comparison to the UFC Undisputed games, check it out September 28th. DJ Hero 2 and Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock demos are now available on the marketplace, so check those out if you're curious about getting the new Guitar Hero or trying DJ Hero 2, which I'm not sure how you'd try DJ Hero 2 if you didn't have a turntable already, but I'll look into that and let you all know. I do have a turntable, so but if you don't, I'll find out what you can do with that. Rock Band 3 will allow export from Rock Band 2, so if you have songs that you banked up from Rock Band 1 and 2, you'll be able to export most of them to Rock Band 3. There obviously always are license issues, so you might not be able to get all the songs you purchase, which sucks, but I don't have a list of ones you won't be able to get. Halo Reach to feature custom name tags, better than what they used with Halo 3. The letter number logos will appear from the Bungie games you have played next to your gamer tag. So if you've played Halo 1, Halo 2, or Halo ODST, you'll have like a custom logo that you can put on there, basically showing that you've completed the campaign or whatever achievements you've completed from those series. Also, if you have links to the PC or the Bungie.net website, you'll get different logos for that. Alright, just released this past week, NHL 11 for the 360 and PS3, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions on all the consoles, Ruse for the 360 and PS3, Hawks 2 for the 360 and PS3, and Metroid Other M, which came out just over a week ago on the Wii. Check those games out now if any of those sound interesting to you. Coming out this week will be PlayStation Move and titles along with that. Halo Reach for the 360, which will be probably the big one this fall, and Cabela's North American Adventures on all the consoles. Alright, last segment here, I gotta rush it. Answer some of your questions. Will Firefight be online for Reach? Yes, online Firefight. There will be. You can basically customize your own Firefight modes and challenge your friends to them. I don't know how it works on matchmaking levels yet, but obviously at midnight tonight, you'll find out yourself. So I apologize I wasn't able to answer that completely, but yes, it will be online. Any word on Diablo 3? 2011 release. There's rumors on Christmas Eve 2010, but basically I don't know anything. I wish I could get some information on that. Millions of people are asking, so who knows as of yet. Hopefully, for those fans out there, Christmas Eve. Black Ops will have host immigration. Treyarch had it on Call of Duty 3, if you recall, so more than likely it will be there on Black Ops. Will Fable 3 follow the story 1 and 2? It will follow the same town, but it's years later in the industrial beginnings. 1 and 2 had different characters apart from each other anyways, so it's going to follow a similar story around similar base characters, but it's its own thing. And what game are you most excited about at the end of 2010? Rock Band 3. Would I rather have the Xbox Kinect or PlayStation Move? I would definitely have the Kinect over Move, just because the PlayStation seems just like the Wii. And what improvement from the previous Halo games that will now be on Reach are you looking forward to most? The ranking and experience point system. That's basically it. But I'm out of time now, and I want to thank you for all your questions. Definitely keep asking more, and then post your top 5 games of all time on here. And thank you for watching episode 50 of Box News. Hope you all have a fun time playing Halo, and a good day.